Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am Luke, your host, that big guy in the bottom left. If it's your first time here, we welcome you to the Gibson Hustle, where we discuss different hustles of business and investing with the main driver to build wealth over time. This playlist is basically a weekly portfolio update where I hope to take you on a journey to grow 50k into $1 million over a 10-year period. This is purely in the ASX. I am using the quality at value methodology. This is episode 7 and not bloody exciting to announce. We just went from 65 to 64k over the last week. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, to keep some structure to this video, you guys know the drill. We'll move through a few key areas, and this will entail a new trade that we made this week, a quick overview of the QAV stock's performance, both over the last week and since inception. Then we'll have a nugget part, where you should learn something new each week. Then the income and owner contributions. Unfortunately, there was none this week, but this will lead us to an overall portfolio value. And last but not least, the disclaimer at the end. Well guys, I was absolutely gutted. The market took a turn for the worse on Friday, on my bloody birthday too. And unfortunately, we lost our first QAV soldier. So ING breached its sell line of around $3.69 around 8 AM Thursday. And it was a slippery slope from there. We sold out about 24 hours later at an average price of $3.53 including brokerage. This gave us an 8.45% loss when you factor in dividends. Bummer, but that is how the chicken crumbles. Also, COG is still pretty close to breaching, so we'll have to keep an eye on this one. It's currently trading at $1.32 with a sell of about $1.29. Now I'll be camping next week, so I hope it doesn't breach. My alerts are set in Stock Doctor, but fingers crossed it won't. Now moving on. So I've been watching this one for a bit, and it was great to get an opportunity to purchase some of the Michael Hill chain, ticker code MHJ. We bought in at $1.05. It closed on Friday at $1.08, so we're already up, which is good. Now this has been in buy territory since about April 21, and it's been on a bit of a tear since. Hopefully the momentum can keep up. The main risks are COVID and keeping their stores open, but we'll just have to keep watching the numbers and hopefully it works out for us. Welcome to the team, MHJ. Please sit over there and do us proud. So how did the stocks do this week? Guys, there was blood on the streets. As you know, we had a rotation removing ING from our portfolio and adding a full position in MHJ, which took our portfolio from 57,220 last week to 60,520 this week. But with 4 of the 6 stocks bleeding, it gave us a negative capital gain of 1.61%. Alright, so since inception, we have a pure capital gain of negative 0.33%. Didn't stay in the black for long, but it's all part of the game. The portfolio now has a dividend return of 2.44% now that we've added another holding. It's down from 2.45% even with Medusas coming in. This gives us a total return of 2.11%. At least that's still in the black. Now for the updates on the list. Challenger, Clearview, Ive Group, Michael Hill and Medusa are all a buy. COG is a hold and watch, and ING is now a sell. It's funny how fast things can change over the course of a week, but that's what we're in this game for, right? Alright, so today's nugget section is going to be about a few of the steps that I take when buying a stock. It works perfect as I just did this on Friday once I sold ING. I will take you through what I was looking at quickly to get a trade in before I went on my merry way to golf. So first thing I do is I quickly filter out the list like we discussed last week. I add a few colors and get a hit list of the stocks I don't own. I then work through from the top to the bottom trying to find my next target. So I grab the ticker codes and I jump into Stock Doctor and take a look. I'll use MHJ as an example as it was the one that just ticked all of my boxes, and I'll overlay some examples that didn't. So the first thing I do is I check Lincoln's financial score metric. In this case, it was strong, which is good, so move on. Then I check for a return on invested capital, or ROIC for short. Now the main screen shows return on equity, so I jump into another window where I can see this. Now I look at this metric as it's one of Phil Town's from Rule 1. He likes to see greater than 10% over a 10-year period. Now this is obviously determined by the industry or the type of company it is, but I have recently started to look at this more closely. We can see that 11 of 11 half periods were above 10%. Now this is very rare, so that's a big tick for me. I also breeze over a few other metrics, checking if they pay dividends. Not that I am concerned if they do or not. I'll cover this in more detail why another time. I also make sure that they have free cash flow to weather a storm or anything else that pops up, etc. Then I come down to the analyst comments and I read up quickly on the company if it is covered. Unfortunately, MHJ isn't, but there is an AIS as an example. I get some great opinions and market intelligence from these. Then I check both the Lincoln and the consensus valuations, if available, to see if it is trading at a discount or not. I quickly check the current PE against the previous periods. Not that I care much for this. As a business owner myself, I know how easy these price to earnings ratios are to manipulate. So all I care about is the cash, baby. Remember, cash is king. Then I double check the average daily trade, ADT, is above the 50k. Phew, we're just in here for this one. But also lately, I've been preferring to trade in the medium to large cap stocks. So I also check that. Then I read up on the principal activities, so I have a bit of knowledge about the company and what it's about. Then I check how much of the company is owned by the leaders. I much prefer higher numbers here, because if they have skin in the game, they are more prone to act on the company's best interest rather than lining their own pockets chasing metrics for bonuses, etc. More on this later. But for MHJ, this is great. I can see that founder Sir Richard Michael Hill owns 38% and Miss Emma Jane Hill owns 43%. It would be nice if the CEO owned more, but he's only just recently been appointed and he's joined the company in June. Might have to keep an eye on this guy. Then it's into the chart. Firstly, checking that it's in buy territory on the 5-year monthly, which it was over here in April 21. Then I jump over to a 1 month daily and make sure that the last month has been trending up, as I have been caught jumping in on the way down, and unfortunately, you don't know when they are going to pull up brakes. Now this one is perfect, bottom left to top right. If this momentum keeps going, we'll be sweet. We bought in here in the middle of the stock trading up intraday on Friday, so that's not a bad return. But yeah, that is basically the rigmarole I have started going through before executing a buy. We will see how they play out. If you have any suggestions, please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And yes, Pete, they are still not candles. Alright, dividends baby. So Medusa went ex-dividend on the 4th of the 11th, paying out 2 cents per share, which was about an 8.48% dividend yield for them. One of their highest. Hopefully this will attract some new investors, pushing the share price back up, because lately it just hasn't been performing for us and we almost have to cut them. Alright, so after our sale of ING and taking a full position in MHJ, our cash account is down to 4,375. So with our 4,375 in cash, plus our 6,520 in stocks, this takes us to an overall value of 64,895 bucks, which is almost a 1% decrease from last week. Sadly, this was our first portfolio drop since we started, but oh well, you can't win them all, right? Now before you guys go, just remember that this video is for entertainment purposes only. If you see me buying or selling any stocks, note that this is not financial advice and you should do your own research. Before you make any investment decisions, please contact a financial professional. Also, we do not work for QAV and the views in this video are purely my own for entertainment, and any systems used are intellectual property of QAV. And last, but definitely not least, please make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and tickle that bell to get notified when my weekly updates come out. Also, if you want to talk about the weather or something else, just leave a comment below. I will try and reply to everyone. Now, have a lovely weekend, and you guys all know the saying, keep healthy and wealthy. See you guys. Bye.